The last few years of hybrid and work from home models in particular have gotten many Americans questioning, isn't there a better way than the 9 to 5 grind? Our very first guest on Liftoff, Amy Porterfield, certainly says so. Amy's the author of 2 Weeks Notice: Find the Courage to Quit Your Job, Make More Money, Work Where You Want, and Change the World. I love that. And oh my gosh, I actually did that to start this show. Amy, you've inspired me just by knowing what you're going to talk about in the incredible book that you have. But what inspired you to make an exit plan from your 9 to 5 and never look back?
14 years ago, I was still in a corporate job. I worked for peak performance coach Tony Robbins, and I got to travel the world and work on the content that he does on stage. And on paper, it was an amazing job. However, what I realized, I was in my early 30s, is that I've never been free. I've never been my own boss. I've never called the shots. And I started to have this huge desire to want to go out on my own and do my own thing. It took me a good year to get the courage to leave that final job and start out on my own. But I'm so glad I did, because I wanted to create something bigger than I had at that job. And so I've never looked back. Now I've created a multi-million-dollar business, and I help other people build businesses online.
So, one of the things that I love about what you've done is you've created this book as a blueprint for those looking for financial freedom, lifestyle flexibility, and major impact. Tell me more about that.
Yes, I think everybody needs a blueprint in order to get started, and action creates clarity. So we've got to get people in motion. So the first blueprint I give is how to leave a job with integrity, but also when you leave to have the courage to start your own thing. And so I give you a runway of exactly the steps you need to take to leave that job. But once you do, instead of putting your resume out in the noisy world online, I'm encouraging people to take their ideas and start their own businesses. But you need a plan for that as well. And because I did that 14 years ago and teach thousands of people how to do it, I put it in my book, Step by Step, How to Build Your Business from Scratch.
That's so cool. And so you've created a 4 step plan for unbossing yourself. And I think I might use that term every time I can. Tell us about those 4 steps.
Yeah, so this concept of unbossing is believing that you can lead yourself and that you do not need anybody else to make decisions for you, to call the shots, or you do not need permission to do so. So the way you unboss yourself, it's decision by decision, action by action. You'll build that muscle over time when you stop looking for permission to do everything that you want to do. Now, when you're in your 9 to 5 job and you need a plan to leave, here are the 4 steps that I teach my students. Number 1, get clear on your why. Why do you want to start your own business? Why do you want to be your own boss? Get very clear, because on the days that your worries will knock you down, your why is going to pick you back up. Mine was, I wanted more freedom. I didn't want to be told what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. I didn't want to be on someone else's time or someone else's dime. To me, that was enough to move me forward, even though I was scared, even though I didn't know how this was all going to work out. So get clear on your why. The next step is to choose your exit date. If you don't schedule it, it will never happen. So I encourage my students to choose 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. Anything over 12 months, and you're likely not going to ever leave, and you're going to let fear take over. So you need to choose your timeline. You put that date on a Post-it note, you put it on a mirror where you see it every single day, and you ask yourself, what do I need to do today to move closer to that date? If I'm going to do it, what do I need to do? Do I need to make a call for advice? Do I need to pick up a book? Do I need to consult a friend? What do I need to do to help me move closer to that date? The third thing is start a side hustle. One of the ways to get courage to leave your job is to have a little extra money coming through and get the courage to put yourself out there. Whether it's consulting or coaching or maybe a service-based business, just a little money on the side can make a big difference while you're transitioning out of your 9 to 5 job. And the fourth thing is that I want you to tell 3 people, and 3 people only. The reason for that is when you share your dreams with people, they're going to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, because they are fearful as well. So not everybody deserves to hear about your dream. So tell 3 people that will hold you accountable, keep you moving forward, but keep it back from those that just won't be ready to hear it, because you don't need any negativity.
What's something that you know now that you wish you knew sooner about building the life you love and a life you don't need a vacation from?
Yes, I wish I knew that my starter idea was good enough and that things will change as I go. When I first started out, I did social media for small businesses. 14 years later, and I don't do anything like that anymore because action creates clarity, and I got more clarity once I put myself out there. So you just need a starter idea. And in the pages of 2 weeks notice, I'll teach you how to come up with your starter idea and get it out into the world. So take some pressure off yourself. You don't need a big business plan. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need that starter idea to get going.
So smart. So smart. Well, Amy, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your new show. It's going to be
Thank
a huge
you.
hit.
That was amazing. But stay tuned because after the break, we chat giving it back to the next generation of female executives. You want to know more about that? Stay with us.